Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. As many of you know, KZN is that province where political killings take center stage. The one that really shocked a lot of us was the killing of Sindiso Magaqa, a councillor in Umzimkhulu local municipality. But if you really look back at the career of Sindiso, it's not just about being a councillor. He was a Secretary General of the ANC Youth League that was led by Julius Malema. When they were getting suspended, he was part of the group and he got 1 year suspension for insulting Malusi Gigaba. Well, because he loved the ANC, he got that suspension, and in 2013, he came back, finishing his suspension, and Julius and the others decided they are going the route of the economic freedom fighters. He actually said that he's not going to join the EFF when Julius wanted to persuade him to be part of the EFF. And in turn, he said that he's going to be a fighter of economic freedom rather than the economic freedom fighter. On the 13th of July 2017, Sindiso Magaqa was shot. Luckily, he survived, but unfortunately, on the 4th of September 2017, he succumbed to his injuries. That meant the death of Sindiso Magaqa. On the 4th of September 2017, Sindiso Magaqa was executed. For what really? Well, today we have the confession of one of the killers, where we are going to know the details of what really transpired on that day.
Ummangalo number 3 akekho lenkantolo namhlanje ngoba uboshiwe kwelinye icala kuthi uvele enkantolo yakwaMphumulo ukube kade kwazeke ngokukhulu ukusheshsha bezowenza imizamo yokuthi abe khona namhlanje yebhadi ke kuphuziwe ukuzwakala ukuthi ke uboshiwe ngale icala uvela kwenkantolo namuhla kodwa ke icala ke liyahlehla kuphela ikusasa sinethemba futhi sizobe khona iqala liqhube kusasa umhla 25 kuApril yake nophezulu. Ummangalo number 1 number 2 esengaphandle ngamabheli imithetho imigomo impande ngamabheli isaloku kanjalo nilandele kezwala madoda namangalele ke number 4 uzobonga phakathi kezwala. All three accused stand.
This is the confession of an alleged killer, Mr. Sindiso Magaqa. He says that sometime around 11th of July 2017, I received a call from Sindiso Magaqa while I was at Berea Center, Durban, and he requested to meet with me downstairs of my flat. I found him standing with Jabulani Mdungwe. I then met with them, and Sindiso Magaqa indicated that there is a job that we need to do in Umzimkhulu. I asked what kind of job that we need to do. The answer was that there is a person in Umzimkhulu municipality who wanted to report other people about corruption at the said municipality. He did not mention the name of the person. He indicated that there are other people that we need to meet before we do the job. The following day, we met at Berea Center again. In this meeting, the following people were present, including myself, Jabulani Mdungwe, Sindiso Magaqa, Lindo Kuhle Nkosi, Mlungisi Nkalane, and Mbulelo Mpofana. In this meeting, Mbulelo Mpofana explained to us that he was also sent by 2 other people for requesting assistance from us. I asked him to give us names of those people. He told us that they were city manager of the municipality, Mr. Nkosana, and city mayor, Mr. Ndobe. The assistance they wanted was for us to go and kill the said person who wanted to report corruption which will implicate them. Then we started to discuss the issue of payment, which was 120,000 rands only after we have done the job. After that there will be a tender that we may get. I said to them that I am not familiar with tender business, and Mr. Mpofana indicated that he will help me on how to apply for a tender. That tender will pay us 1 million rands. The following day, which was on the 12th of July 2017, I, together with Jabulani Mdungwe, Mlungisi Nkalane, who was driving a Mercedes-Benz, drove to Umzimkhulu. There was also a BMW, red in color, which passengers were Lundo Nkosi and Sibonelo Myeza following us to Umzimkhulu. Upon our arrival at Umzimkhulu, Mlu Nkalani, Sbo Myeza and Lindo Nkosi, who were familiar with the area, showed us the area and most importantly, the home of the deceased. We were already given his photo to identify him. The Mercedes-Benz was parked near the home of the deceased, and me, Mlu Nkalani and Jabu Mdungwe were also near the deceased home. The other vehicle was parked near car wash area, and Lindo Nkosi with his Sbo Myeza were also there. They were looking after him, so when he entered or passing car wash, they can see him and tell us. On this first day, while we were waiting for the deceased, his car emerged and it was followed by a vehicle of police officials. Then we left back to Durban without doing our instructed job. At this point, we noted his car and the registration number. The following day, the 13th of July 2017, I traveled back again to Umzimkhulu with the same people, and upon arrival, the driver parked near car wash. The deceased vehicle emerged and parked near car wash, and it was driven by the deceased. We knew him as we were already given his photo, and I saw him on the previous day while he was driving his car. Then our vehicle dropped us near the car wash and driver proceeded driving towards Port Shepstone Road. I aligned and walked towards a car wash where the deceased car parked, and I had a firearm with me. I went to the deceased vehicle to observe if there will be any disturbance of our plans to shoot the deceased. I noted that there will be no disturbance. I then called Jabulani Mdunge to come and join me near car wash since I left him near the bush. Jabulani Mdunge walked towards the car wash and he had AK-47 rifle in his possession. As he was close to the deceased vehicle, he shot at the vehicle where the deceased was inside and within the direction where the deceased was set. At that moment, I was looking at anyone who can disturb us. The deceased was with other people in the vehicle whom I did not know. I also fired some shots to scare people who were at the car wash. After shooting the deceased, his vehicle and where other people were set, the Mercedes-Benz returned back to fetch us, and we then traveled back to Durban using Ikop Road. Upon arriving back in Durban, Berea Center, I and Mlu Jabu met with occupants of BMW which left us earlier via Port Shepstone Road. At Berea Center, Sibonelo Myeza called Mbulelo Mpofana to inform him that job was done. Then Mbulelo Mpofana came to meet us at Berea Center, where he paid us 120,000 rands in cash. I need to inform that before we traveled to Umzimkhulu, Jabulani Mdungwe informed us that we should not worry on the road about being arrested by police officers. He said that he instructed intelligence police members to look after us on the road. He told us that he is a friend with some police officers, but he did not mention their names. He further told us that even the AK-47 and the Mercedes-Benz which were used belonged to the police officers. He advised us that we will not be arrested as arrangements were made with some officers. I was told later during payment or sharing of 100,000 rands that another 20,000 rands was given to a police officer who was looking after us. Then I received 20,000 rands, Mdunge 20,000 rands, Nkosi 20,000 rands, Nkalani 20,000 rands, and Myeza also received 20,000 rands. The money was in cash. Mdunge took 20,000 rands to deliver it to the said police officer who was looking after us. He called the said officer to inform him that he will be delivering 20,000 rands to him. Sometime in 2017, I was arrested for robbery in Harding. I appeared in court for bail application and was refused. Later in 2018, I was charged under this matter in question while I was in prison. Whilst in prison, Mr. Nkosana, Mr. Ndove, Sbo Myeza, Mlu Nkalani, and Mbulelo Mpofana were also arrested. That is where I met some of them for the first time, like Mr. Ndobe and Mr. Skosana. The prison that we met was New Prison, Pietermaritzburg G section. This is where I discovered that the money Nkosana and Ndobe paid was 600,000 rands, which Mpofana and Mieza did not dispute. Then Ndobe and Nkosana requested us not to fight in prison, further that Ndobe will pay further 500,000 to avoid a fight amongst us. Then Mdunkalani was sent to collect the said 500,000 rands. Later I heard that charges against Ndobe and Nkosana were withdrawn. Finally, we agreed that these 500,000 rands will be used for our legal fees in the criminal case. I also called Mdunkalani to confirm the money of 500,000 rands and I recorded him. The recording is still available. I sent the record to my family member to keep it safe. It is alleged that one of the people who was really involved in sending those killers to go and kill Sindiso Magaqa was Mluleki Ndobe, and unfortunately he died before he faced the music because it is reported that he shot himself on 6 November 2020. That meant some people will then not go and face the charges. I think it's really important that we look at the manner in which things are happening in KZN. Well, it happens in most of provinces, but it is rife there in KZN. You look at the fact that people are getting killed because they want to expose corruption. The man with the confession here says that at one point I was offered 120,000 rands and I was promised that once you have executed the mandate killing Sindiso Magaqa, we are going to have a tender for you which is worth 1 million rands. People are starving. Kids are going to bed without food. Graduates are without jobs. And here are politicians promising a killer, an Inkavi, 1 million rands of tender. And the guy says, I know nothing about tenders, probably didn't even finish matric, but they say we are going to help you. You're going to open a company today. Next month, you're going to get that tender. And you wonder why we're struggling with service delivery. 2026 is the local elections. When you go there to vote, you must think about such incidences. Sindiso died because he wanted to expose corruption. He was just a year inside becoming a councillor, but they took that away from him because they saw that this man is for the truth. And as a politician, we don't believe in being a honest and truthful person. But because Sindiso wanted to be that, they took him out. It is such unfortunate that the confession is coming out because whether it comes out or not, the family will never have a provider. It will never have a father, an uncle, a brother, or even a husband. Now, when you look at the confession, you really have to worry because since he died, there has been a lot of political killings in KZN mostly because politicians believe that to ascend, we have to remove those who are in front of us. I look at this confession as telling us that the politicians do not care about the people they serve. For them, it's about money. If you can buy a life for 600,000 rands, then we have a problem. If you can give away a tender because it's a favor to someone who removed an obstacle, then we are in trouble. We are only seeing this at local government. One wonders what really transpires at the top. Unfortunately, this has been happening under the ANC, and for so many years, people have been suffering, wondering why roads are not maintained, why problems are going on in terms of service delivery. There is your answer. Some of them, most of the problem is with the comrade because they believe in killing and not giving you the service you deserve. I thought it was fair that we look at this confession and we really interpret what it means to us, the people of South Africa, because it means just one thing: down with the people and up with the politicians. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel. And you can help us growing by subscribing to the channel, and also, if you can, by becoming a member at just R5.99 per month, helping the channel to grow. Until next time, cheers.